All right, live on location at the Dog Pound. When? January 19th, about 9 a.m. No, not quite that. About 30 degrees, crisp but nice. Griswald now has a motor setting in him. And unlike all best laid plans of dog and men, I figured, and I need to measure, but I figured or thought that a 700 R4 is the same length as that metric that come out of here. And as it turns out, my guesstimations were just a little bit off. Because right now, the motor is shoved so far forward, and I'll explain why in a minute, that the starter is literally like hitting the front cross member up in there. So, why is it like that? Because first off, those are the old mount pads for the 307 that was in it. It's got a 350 in it now, small block Chevy, and of course, this Chevy uses the different style mounts and that. So instead of fucking around with it, I mounted everything up, hung the pads that go to the frame on the motor and set her in, and figured I would adjust once I got the transmission set in the cross member where it should be. I figured it would line up. Well, hey, guess what? It don't, or I just plain got the wrong combination of mounts. So my choices are, hi Dex. I know I had a representative. Dexter, what are you doing, dummy? Sit. Good boy. Morning to you too. Okay, so considering that it probably wouldn't hurt this car if I slide the motor back as much as I can within the room allotted and then just cut a drive shaft for it. I hate the idea of it. I guess it's time I learned how to do it. I think I can do it. I think I can. Anyway, that's not the point. So basically, like I said, the plan was drop it in, set the transmission on the cross member, bolt to the cross member, and throw the drive shaft up in there, get it where it's supposed to be, and weld down the motor pads. It ain't happening that way, at least not right now. What is going to happen is I'm going to move my drive shaft out of it, throw a spare yoke in it so it can't drip all over the damn place like that from when I changed it. Scoot the motor back, get it where I like it, where I want it, and bolt in the tranny cross member, and go ahead and weld up the mounts. And then I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but this thing needs to be skid plated. It does. Let me turn around, get away from that light. The outside light's worse than having a spotlight going in here. What I would like to do is probably let's see if I do another it's chintzy up in there, but if I do excuse me, point the camera in the right place, a contained nut, another contained nut up here on one of these corners. We might end up using the transmission, but what I want to do is I want to skid plate in. I'm thinking out loud, but basically we're going to skid plate all the way up to the back of here, and it's nice because this sits up in there deep enough where I think I can catch that lip and I won't have nothing catchy. So that's kind of where I'm at with him this morning. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't get everything located and get them together. I need to come up in here with the wire feed and weld all this shit up. As hard as I beat this car, you can kind of still, man, I gotta get better with the camera. You can kind of see some of the scuffing, some of the better scuffing from the Gambler run. I was straight up using the frame rails for rock slides, and it's great because this thing is a totally boxed frame, so she's hard. She's like, makes my Cadillacs look soft by comparison. Anyway, I'm at about 5 minutes in. Anything else we want to discuss this morning? Yeah. So, 460 manifold. This is important. Fucking had a broke off bolt in this son of a bitch, and son, I'm here to tell you. It's actually, I got the hole close enough, and I did get a tap through it, but I will run the bolt out the back side because there ain't a lot of meat on it, and put a nut back there when I drilled it out. Let me see if I can find some of these bits from when I did this. There's like a pile of them here. I think this big one got to. No? Yeah. That's good enough. As Ave would say, focus you. Oh. And as much as I like that particular verbiage, you'd think I'd use it all the time, but it just annihilated a fistful of bits. So I got smart and basically took something that I learned from blacksmithing, and I took the torches and heat cycled this hole up. Got it red hot, let it cool off. Got it red hot, let it cool off. Got it red hot, let it cool off. Which probably should have done first to help try to extract the broken stud, but it was so messed up I couldn't get a tap in it, or it wouldn't move with the tap. I forget which. And but I figured, we'll drill it out. Got down in there, and there was a hard spot, and I'm talking a hard spot. I've never seen the like. I got in here and used the drill for a while, got a burr in it, and then, man, I do not know what this damn bit is. I would love to find out, but son, that thing cuts. I mean, it's like a reamer. It's just unbelievable. So we now have the exhaust manifold for Dead Red that we need, so I can get exhaust put on them and actually not feel bad about starting them. We got to finish Dead's hydraulic system, but if I can get the motor up and, the exhaust on it, I can work on some of the other stuff after. Although, since I have this front clip off, Bronco coming soon to a spot near me. Oh. Like I said, I've got all the stuff to do a hydraulic winch on the front of Dead Red over here. He was supposed to have a 6. I wanted to put a 6 in him, but this 460 came to me, runs like a champ, so it's in there. Anyway, I had to find stuff to do serpentine on it so I could basically run a hydraulic pump down here. Hopefully, that's where I want to put it. Otherwise, I'll build a mount, put that sumbitch up here to run the hydraulic winch I've got. So, basically, Griswald is number 1. That's kind of number 2. And this is number 3. I've got a good motor in it now. And I've got a Turbo 350 that came with it that might or might not work, that I think I'm going to throw up in there. Hopefully see if the drive shaft I got for this is the right one for that transmission. I don't think this was an overdrive car, was it? No, but it originally was either a standard. I gotta get up underneath there and look at this one of these days. It's starting to make me wonder. Thing's got a small brake pedal in it. And it's got a huge hole in the floor. How weird would that be? I'm going to have to get the hood off this and look at it, but I'm not going to do it right now. That's going to be a update here in a minute. I'm getting stretched out there, but I'm going to get this inside. And now Now it makes me want to pause. You know, I think I noticed that before and it seemed weird. And the weirder thing is there's no shift indicator spot on the column, and we probably won't be able to see this on video, but we'll see. Did somehow a lover of a stick shift end up with a rare fucking optioned El Camino that was originally a stick shift? Anyway, I got a 5-speed for her. The biggest thing I was worried about was the pedals, which I snagged that set of pedals out of the Firebird. It might give me the pedal I need depending on how that is set up. And then it's just about running the hydraulics. I'm going to have to get on and do a Rock Auto parts search and see. That's really interesting. Y'all, I need to get to doing something. If nothing else, I got to go to Williamson Valley and help my buddy Sonny's brother get unpacked and probably do a whole bunch of other stupid stuff around that got to be done that nobody wants to do and man needs help with. So, if you're interested, you know what to do. Have a great day.